welcome from Bozeman, Montana.
Good morning.
Good to see you, Shana.
Good to see you too.
All right. We've been doing some running around this morning and been getting very excited to be able to have this TNT today.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for joining us today.
Yeah.
This is a big episode for us, episode 647 of TNT Live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Hey now.
Hey now.
All right, so today we have Stacey's weekly update is going to be topic number 1. Topic number 2, Shana, you had a great week in Bozeman last week, didn't you?
Yes.
All right, so you're going to talk a little bit about that. You got some notes there.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear all about it. All right, and then we have...
He knows some things, but not everything. Can't tell everything.
I'm sure I don't know much. That's for darn sure. And then we have, will the USA benefit from vaccine tourism, and what could that potentially mean for real estate? Okay, so vaccine tourism, USA, and benefits in real estate. And then when will the chlorine shortage end? And do you know about it? And what is that doing with pools and all their alternatives?
Yes.
And how does that all work?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll talk about each one of those. Shana, go ahead with roll call if you would, please.
Oh, who's here today? I got to spend a whole week with most of you, but some of you I didn't, and we were sad that we didn't get to see you here, but there will be another time. So if you are here, please chat your name in. We want to know you're here and present and listening and alert and hearing what's going on.
Very good. Do you feel like we're ready to progress?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right,
ready?
let's do it. Yeah. All right, it's time for Stacey's weekly update. Looks like she has a logo and animation and all types of things that are going on for her. So that's awesome. Stacey, are you ready? Let's tell us what's going on, please.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and happy Monday. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Wanted to go over a couple things really fast, guys. Please send me your final walkthrough forms for your buyers. I have a small stack of files I can't close out because I don't have them yet, so I will re-tag everybody that I am missing them from again today and make sure that I have them so I can properly close out our files. I really appreciate it. Second thing I wanted to go over one more time is on the paragraph 21 of the contract, the 1 to 4 family. Please make sure that my email and the email of our client are in there. A lot of times I'm still seeing just maybe y'all's email or care of Acquisto Real Estate. It doesn't happen very often, but please make sure that my information and our client's information is in there, and that way the title company will go ahead and anybody who needs to send notices sends them to the proper place. So I appreciate that. So here's our update from Monday, August 23rd through Sunday, August 29th. We had 2 contracts turned in last week. One belongs to Shana and one belongs to Hannah. So congratulations. Then we had 4 closings last week. One belonged to Susan, one belonged to Kim, one belonged to Linda, and one belonged to Mike Shepard. So way to go, you guys. Way to work so hard, and look forward to speaking to you guys this week. Have a great day.
Very good. Thank you, Stacey, for the update. Much appreciated.
Great.
Yeah. And it's crazy that we had some people put in contracts and they weren't even in town. So that's good. I like to hear that.
Maybe the contracts were for out of town.
Out of town contracts. Okay. We'll take that.
We were working last week, right, guys?
Wherever that happens and however that goes, that's cool.
Definitely.
So, Stacey, you should feel special. You should feel fancy, right? Whatever that is.
You are fancy.
Yeah, no, you're amazing. You do so much for us, and we're very, very appreciative of everything you do.
Yes, we are.
Yes, and, I actually have a question there, right? So, you were asking about people being able to close out a file in the system, right? And how you needed something from them to be able to do that. Well, those files shouldn't be actually closing. Forget closing out in our system, but they shouldn't be closing at all without the final walkthrough. So I just wanted to add additional clarification to that. And that's my opinion. I don't know how you feel, Shana.
Well, once it's closed, it's closed. So,
Do we need that? We need that document, and I would prefer it to be right then before it actually takes place.
there should be a final walkthrough before closing. So it should be signed before closing, yes.
Perfect. All right. Thank you. I think we're good. Let's move on. Well, hello there, Shana. I heard you guys had a great week in Bozeman last week. So good that you're even here right now still.
Yes, I'm still here.
All right. And you're going to tell us all about it. So I'm going to just turn it right over to you, Shana.
Okay. So, yes, we had a great week last week. Just a handful of you were not able to come, which was unfortunate, but we will have another opportunity. I think this was very, very good for all of us. And, it really taught me something. So something I've learned about our family is that, we all came from different backgrounds, upbringings, and different experiences, which make us who we are. So that makes us unique. And, that's what makes the world diverse. Well, what I saw is that's a great thing, but it's also something that can cause people pause. And maybe you think, oh, that's not my type of person or my style. And so you don't even give maybe that person a chance.
Okay.
So, and I'm sorry, my voice. I'm losing my voice.
Yes.
So what I saw last week is that, I don't want to give everything, but what we saw was that everybody kind of united together despite of their backgrounds, and were just amazing. And I really enjoyed it.
Okay, well, I'll see if I can take over for a second here. So yeah, she obviously had a great time, and that was good. You spoke a lot about, having people, step up in different situations and having some minor adversity at different times or major adversity, and all of those things still happen to work out, right? So you were able to put each of those things together.
Yeah.
You had people step up to be leaders, and you had, people were put in maybe uncomfortable situations as far as, which places they had to stay or how they had to do it. I wanted you guys to get the opportunity to each have your own room. And I was really excited about that. And the only thing that would have required is some of you guys to sleep outside as well. So you'd have to rotate through and have your own room. And, the extras just sleep outside, pitch a tent, and put that all together.
Welcome.
Yeah, so I guess you guys just shared instead. But I was all for everybody getting to have their own room. That's just me. But.
Yeah, your own room outside. So something we learned, and, I gave everybody a packing list, but what happened is we were here 2 weeks before, and, it started to get chilly at night, and the days were really nice and warm, but when we came back, it was a little different. So now it's in the 30s at night, and it's really chilly. And it's not really getting as warm during the day as it did. So the weather is changing here, but everybody was so amazing, and we just had the best time. And I feel like people really connected, and we really got to know one another. So
very good.
I loved it.
Good. Yeah, it seems like you're pretty emotional this morning. You were so happy with how everything went. Are there any specific things that you wanted to hit on?
Like what?
I don't know.
Well,
like
we toured homes, we did activities, we pushed ourselves out of our comfort zone, and, we hung in there. I think really it was good. We did showings for an entire day. And I could tell that people were starting to get tired of it, and, enough's enough. But it was important for me that everybody knew, all, the lower priced homes to the luxury homes, and learn the market of Bozeman and Montana. And I think it makes us more well-rounded. Everybody hung in there, they stuck together, and it was great. We did some other activities that pushed people out of their comfort zone. We went and explored a farm, for example. Well, that's not something that we do every day, nor are we familiar with the farm life. So it was just a lot of learning opportunity and bonding and connecting, and it was great. We really, really had a good time.
Very good.
I hope you guys had as much fun as I did, but I feel like so much came out of this week, and that's what, it does make me a little emotional, but we all survived. We're all alive.
I'm glad to hear that. All right. Well, thank you guys. I hope you had a great time. I hope you're able to do that one again in the future.
Yes.
And maybe some guys get invited. I don't know. Maybe we'll just do something different.
You could do something different.
We'll figure that out.
And that's good. That's okay. Actually, please do. I'm just kidding. No, it was fun.
All right. Go ahead and hit the bell. Okay. Let's move on to the next topic. Hello there. This is Mike Acquisto, real estate broker with Shana Acquisto, also an awesome real estate broker. And will the United States benefit from vaccine tourism is the main question here. And what we're going to do is talk about it specifically from a real estate perspective, but kind of understand it just a little bit, right? And we'll talk through this because there's a bunch of items within this. And we can kind of roll through here. What we have is we do have an article, and I'll go ahead and share that one off here in just a little bit. But I'm going to kind of talk about, is vaccine tourism a real thing? Okay. Do people want to come to the United States to get vaccinated? And if all of a sudden we need booster shots specifically, are people going to be coming back all the time? Is it going to be something similar to whenever the new vaccine comes out or the new booster shot comes out each year, that all of a sudden people are running to go get it from other places, like all across the world? Imagine that there's not many of them and it's limited and you don't want to have, right? Mm-hmm. It kind of is like a Cabbage Patch doll from back in the day. If that's the case, like everyone's running in wanting it, right? And it causes this mass hysteria.
Who had a Cabbage Patch doll?
Yeah. Is it kind of like, when the new iPhone comes out, is it that? Right? Because death is not a good option.
No.
Right? So when people want to avoid death and there's something going on and there's something that can, hopefully stop that, then all of a sudden it does become a real thing. Mm-hmm. And that's what we do. And how much would people be willing to pay? Imagine if this new booster shot comes out, right? And it's helpful and it stops against the Delta variant, it stops against these next things, and all of this works. And if COVID came out for the first time and all of a sudden you could go get a shot day one, right? Like right when it stopped, right when it came out, and you didn't have to experience the last year and a half or whatever that time was. How much would you have paid for that vaccine if you knew that was the case? Looking back, right? Would you pay $100? Well, probably so, right? To get a whole year of your life and not worry about certain things. Mm-hmm. Would you pay $1,000? Would you pay $10,000 per shot?
$10,000.
I don't know. Just think about it. If it's a whole year and you don't have to worry and you could take death off the table, imagine the loved ones that people lost. $10,000 seems like super cheap for that. Is it $100,000? How many people out there would be willing to pay $1 million for it? You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who would. So think about that from all across the globe, people that would want to come here to do that type of thing. But then maybe there's a rule that you have to be a property owner in the United States to be able to come over and get a vaccine. Well, what does that do? Maybe you have to make an investment in the United States. Maybe you have to buy a property of X value so you can go ahead and do this. So, right?
Yeah.
So I think it could potentially be a real thing. So let's go ahead and split the screen here, Omkar. We're going to show off this article that we kind of are referencing here.
I think we do take for granted some of those things, and people from other countries, who aren't afforded these opportunities. I mean,
yes.
I really believe that they would.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So this is about specifically San Francisco and how people are rushing to San Francisco from other places to go ahead and get vaccinated, right? So you can imagine that how fortunate we happen to be here with some of the things that we have, right? And how we had access to it. If we scroll down and maybe move past this video, what we're going to see is it's costing people a lot of money. So I saw a number right in there that it's costing them $4,000 or $5,000 at the most to come over and get vaccinated. Okay. But imagine, right, that this cost even more, or imagine they put some restrictions in place, or imagine, right, what would you do for your loved one and then put it in that other scenario of somebody else, and then they come here. So what people do look to the United States for is for leadership in certain things in times of chaos, for innovation, for technology, right? For healthcare. And if we have certain things, then does it become that, right? Do people have to make an investment here to be able to do that? If we have extras and we have people who are not wanting to get vaccinated, should we just be sending them off, or should we make the people come and get, I don't know.
What if they can't afford to come here? I mean, not everybody has that money to be able to do that. So, I mean, that's a lot of money.
No, I'm not trying to make it about money, but what I'm trying to say is that there are people who are willing to pay. And when you do live in an economy where it is, it's a capitalistic economy, those things are going to happen. And there's going to be a short supply. The same thing with Cabbage Patch dolls, and when the new iPhones come out, or when there's always a gift every single year that causes mass hysteria where people can't control themselves. So imagine it's not a gift or something tangible, but yet it is now something that is life-saving. And how that happens.
I think I read up at the top that so San Francisco just alone has given over 1,000 vaccines to tourists from over 58 countries. Mostly from Taiwan and Mexico, but 58 countries. I mean, are they coming here just for that? That would be interesting to know.
I do think so. I mean, I know personally of at least 2 people that I know that have came here to the United States to get vaccinated, and they just came here solely for that. And they initially thought they were only going to get 1 shot, and then they needed to get the 2-shot variant because there was something at that same time. Remember the Johnson & Johnson for like a week? They were like, oh no, don't get that one. Oh no, I guess it's fine. Like, we're going to still use it. So that was actually a real thing there. But so they had to come back twice. Interesting, right? I don't know. So anyways, I do think it becomes a real item. And I think that, vaccine tourism definitely becomes something year over year over year. And whenever it comes out, I think we'll have a bunch of people here coming that want it. And maybe they have to get here in advance. Maybe they have to quarantine for a certain amount of time. Maybe they have to have a place that they own. Maybe it's only people who, whatever these qualifications are.
Right.
And somehow I'd say real estate becomes one of them. And then when they're here, if they have the money to come here and do that, right, then what are they buying while they're here? Are they going to stay? Right? That type of stuff really helps out the United States and our economy in general. So a really good example of this is in New York City. A lot of the penthouses or, large apartments there that are owned, those super, super luxury ones that are millions and millions of dollars, there's no one that lives in them. A lot of times those are storages of money from super uber wealthy people from other countries that feel that their money is not safe in some other country. And they are happy to get it out of that country and into the United States in something that is stable but yet liquid in their mind. So it's liquid in the fact that it takes a period of time to sell, but they'll be able to get their money back, or for the most part, whatever it is, and it'll come back out eventually. So they buy real estate because it's something you can't take. Imagine if you lived in a country where you knew somebody that had their grandmother held hostage and ransomed.
This is a
multiple times. So if they can take somebody, then they can take something from you. But if you have an asset like that, then that's something they maybe can't take, right? If you have gold or diamonds, those are physical things that they can take. But if you own a piece of real estate in another country, they might not be able to get to that or know about it or any one of those things. So that's where real estate does become a real thing. And the more uber wealthy people you have coming over doing those things, the more our economy is going to go up, the more specifically the real estate economy will. So, anyways.
Good stuff.
That's good.
It's happening.
Good. Let's get us out of here. Today's real estate word of the day is leasehold estate. Estate. Go ahead, Shana.
Leasehold estate, a way of holding title to a property wherein the mortgagor does not actually own the property, but rather has a recorded long-term lease on it.
Okay, so that's a leasehold estate. And it seems like it's way more techie when you say it that way, right, than estate. So,
or You're not from around here.
Oh. Anyways, thank you guys.
See ya.
Well, that's a wrap for you guys. Whether we happen to be here in person, whether we're in Texas and you're here or whatever it is, we're trying to bring you some real estate knowledge each day so that you have different topics that you can learn from. Today's were a little bit different and maybe pushed you to think a little bit outside of what you were normally thinking it was going to be for real estate. But I believe that you would be surprised at how often, as you walk around and talk to people, that you can have random fun facts to interject or different things that can bring the conversation back to real estate so you can sell and engage people in real estate.
Connect.
Yes, if you can make these connections, then you create these bonds. If you create the bond, then you have an opportunity to create additional personal transactions for yourself, right? It's way better to have any one of those items to talk about that we just did, rather than going up to somebody and saying, would you like to buy or sell a home today?
You know, and going back to the first topic of us being here and connecting last week and bonding, and when you have that support system, it enables you to go out and be more productive. I really believe that. And to know that we have each other's back and have each other to go out and be able to call on one another, to be able to fill in for us and help us, I think that does make us so much better and so much more productive. And, you know, where you could see your bottom line really increase.
Yeah, you know, that's the whole idea is when we first started this business, it was Shana and myself. And then we needed somebody else. And that's when Stacey kind of came in. And we try to stick to the same core things all the time. And so what we did is Shana would sell and I would try to create. So we'd have this additional business coming in and then we'd send Shana out on more appointments, right? So I started as a friendship division, so to speak. We didn't know it was going to be called that eventually. And Shana was the broker and selling stuff, right? And then we needed another person. And then Stacey comes along so we can multiply ourselves and be in more places. And that was amazing, right? And then we start creating additional business beyond what just Shana can do. So then we bring in more people and more agents. But the whole idea, the business has always been kind of designed around what is best for this specific agent. And in the beginning, it started out and her name was Shana. She was pretty good at what she did. But now as we do this, we create the business and focus it on the agent always. And what is that like? So we're always consistently pushing ourselves to recreate additional things and put in processes, put in services, put in support stuff to make it easier on you, the agent, so you can focus on what's important. And that is creating relationships so you can create additional transactions. And we try to do the rest of it, whether it's give you ideas to talk to people about with TNT each day, whether it happens to be to support you with Stacey doing certain things and Megan doing things and, you know, Omkar doing the videos and Logan doing all these things to get you more stuff, right? Whether it's, you know, Katie making call after call for you on your behalf, whether it's whatever these things happen to be, we're all doing that. So you as the agent can create additional transactions for yourself and not worry about certain items.
Right. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we forget why we do this. And there's fees and stuff. There's charges for each of these items. And we don't make money on them. But the whole idea is that we make money when you do well. And we want you to do exceedingly well and create additional transactions for yourself. Period.
And if you're happy doing it, you do a much better job.
Yep.
So,
all right.
There you go.
That's all we got for today. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Goodbye. All right, Omkar, let's get some of these pictures taken here.
Okay. First topic. A great week in Bozeman.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. And now.
Okay.
Second topic, will USA benefit from vaccine tour? Now.
Got it. We'll do that again as soon as the word goes away.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Third topic, when will chlorine shortage?
We didn't do that one.
Okay. And
I get to keep that for tomorrow.
Word
Word of the day?
Yeah.
Okay.